to Alzheimer Speaks Radio. I'm your host, Lori LeBay, and I'm so excited that you're joining us today. We are going to have a fascinating conversation as usual as we learn from people all around the world at all ages and stages of life. Stay tuned as we shift our dementia care from crisis to comfort.
All right, here we go. What you think about, you will bring about some mental change. We will
Well, hi, everyone, and welcome back to Alzheimer Speaks Radio. I'm your host, Lori LeBay, and I'm thrilled you could join us today. We are going to be talking about how things are getting easier to find dementia support groups. And that has always been something I think just about everybody struggles with in terms of what's available and where do you find it and how do you know it's a good match, all of those kinds of fun things. But before I introduce you to our guests, first I want to welcome everyone. If you are new to the show, Alzheimer Speaks was started because my own mom lived with dementia for 30 years, so I get it. And we are here to support you in any fashion that we can. In fact, maybe, just maybe, you're ready to tell your story. And if so, reach out to me at radio@alzheimerspeaks.com because everyone around the world is welcome to share their insights and knowledge and support. This is a live show, so if you want to call in and ask any questions or make a comment regarding our topic, please feel free to do so at 323-870-4602. That is 323-870-4602. I do want to just let people know you can still sign up for a presentation I'm doing, which is sponsored by Artist Senior Living, called Realities of Dementia. It's family-friendly tips and tools, and that will be Tuesday, September 20th from 6:30 to 7:30 Eastern Time. And you can sign up by going to theartistway.com/webinar. That's the artist, and that's artisway.com/webinar. And then also on October 31st, I'll be out in Minnetonka. We're going to do a screening of the film called A Timeless Love, and you are welcome to be part of that as well. You can, just give me a jingle or email me again at radio@alzheimerspeaks.com on that. And if you haven't visited our newly designed website, we still have the same URL for the most part. Just put in alzheimerspeaks.com. And there you'll be able to easily access all of our free educational resources. We put them all in one place there for you. So we are going to hear from the Adaptive Equipment and Caregiving Corner, and we will be right back, and I'll introduce you to our guest, and we'll get talking about easier access to find dementia resources.
I love the footbar walker, and let me tell you why. It is the option for my toolbox that I've been waiting for. Let's be honest. There are some clients who, despite our best rehab efforts, just aren't able to return to performing a sit-to-stand transfer on their own. Now I can offer my caregivers an easier, safer option that doesn't involve hoisting their loved one up from a sitting position. I don't recommend this walker for all of my clients, but I do recommend this walker for those caregivers looking for an easier, safer option with transfers. I would also encourage other therapists to add this walker to their toolbox. It's kind of like having my own mobile parallel bars for the client to pull up on. Whether it's a family caregiver at home helping a loved one with Parkinson's or dementia, CNAs in a long-term care facility assisting their patients, or therapists adapting to client and caregiver-specific needs, we now have a very safe and effective option to offer in the footbar walker. Check this product out at thefootbarwalker.com. That's it for today from Adaptive Equipment and Caregiving Corner. Have a great day, and don't forget, if you can't do it, adapt it.
Well, we are back. If you haven't checked out the footbar walker, make sure you do that, and also check out the Adaptive Equipment and Caregiving Corner. They are loaded with so much great information there. Now, today we are going to be talking about dementia support groups, made a little bit easier to find, which, we can't make things easy enough for families and those diagnosed, as well as professionals, to help spread the word of all this. So I am thrilled to have with us Dave Wiederrich, who is my partner in crime and co-founder of Dementia Map Global Resource Directory, he has just been such a pleasure to work with. And for those of you that don't know, Dave is also the founder of the Memory Cafe Directory, and he found a niche. He heard people talking about memory cafes all the time, but found that, boy, it's difficult to find where the heck they were. So he developed the Memory Cafe Directory. It serves 5 different countries and has over 1,000 different listings, both virtual and in person. And so once again, he found a gap in terms of other support services for other support groups, I should say, for dementia. And now he is rolling out a whole nother directory. So welcome, Dave. I'm thrilled to have you on the show with us today.
Hi, Lori. Nice to be here talking with you yet again. We talk quite a bit with Dementia Map, so we have a different topic to discuss today.
Yeah, well, it's what you've come up with here is, again, so important. The Memory Cafe Directory is focused on memory cafes, which is great. That's for people, with dementia and their care partners, and there's a variety of different styles of those. But now, you're rolling out a whole nother directory, and we'll get into that. But I always like to ask all of my guests, and some people may not know this about you one way or the other, but have you been personally touched by dementia in your own family or circle of friends? Because I think people find it fascinating. Why do people get into what they're doing?
Yeah. It certainly, yes, family, friends, and just learned this morning that a friend that I used to play hockey with many, many years ago just passed from vascular dementia. So tough morning.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. So sorry. But most of us are touched one way or the other, and if we haven't been yet, most likely we will be. So let's talk a little bit, just to kind of give an intro to our audience about our work together on Dementia Map and how that came about and what that offers people, if you don't mind sharing that with our audience.
Oh, absolutely. You can fill in the blanks, of course, because you've been on this journey with me. I would listen to Lori on this particular show for many years, lament over not having the resources that she wished she had when she cared for her mother, and it just struck me that this is something that she and I could do, and I reached out to her and offered the kind of the website design, marketing kind of background, and combined that with with her experience, certainly deep experience in this area, and she was dumb enough to say yes, and here we are.
Well, it's been really, really fun to see it grow and the variety of products, services, and tools that people can find, to watch how businesses can tap into, expanding their brand footprint and at a very reasonable rate and or free, depending on what level they want to be. And families and professionals, I hear from are loving the easy accessibility with this. So it's just going to be fun to watch it grow over time, and the great articles that are listed there for people to be able to learn more. And so many free events on the calendar too, which are absolutely fantastic, as well as there are some that are paid. That are wonderful. I don't want to say that those aren't, because you have to pay money. I don't want anyone to interpret that, but there's a really, we really tried to make a wide brush stroke to meet everybody's needs and to keep access easy and cost, extremely reasonable, if none at all, and then also respecting people's privacy. where people don't have to sign in and turn over that private information, worrying about being hacked or scammed and all of those things. So I just love working with you. So I appreciate that you reached out to me and heard my frustration over and over on the radio on that aspect.
Well, and I think that's a big reason why it has become so successful just in the less than 2 years we've been up, is because the design, I'll call it the deliverable, what people experience, comes from your experience of really not having something, and this is filling the gap that you as a seasoned caregiver needed. And so it's addressing a very specific need, and that's usually the best tools, rather than create something we think people need, but instead create something that really does fill a real need. And I think that's why it's grown. We, our visitors, the being able to find this kind of information, as you said, free of charge, no login, no nothing, is so valuable. And that, of course, becomes an audience for the many, many, many resources and products and services that are being put in front of that audience. So it really is bringing together quite a valuable connection for both parties, and I couldn't be happier with the way it's going.
Great. Why don't you also give people a little recap on the Memory Cafe directory and how that came about and what the status is? I mentioned a few things, but it has grown so much over the years. It's just kind of amazing to watch.
Oh, it really has. Thank you. We'll get into the support group directory, the new one here, just in a moment. But what's exciting is where we're at right now with support group directory is the same feeling I had when I just first started Memory Cafe directory, and it was again out of a need. When I learned about memory cafes and the value they hold for families, I was immediately smitten with the concept. And it was easy to find out about the history of them. They came from Europe and all of that. But it was hard to find one nearby. And not that I needed one, but it occurred to me that, there might be a few from an organization that puts on a memory cafe. They might have a couple of listings on their website. There might be a few on this website. Maybe over here there's a bunch, but they're all out of date. And so it occurred to me that there really was a void there, and being able to pull them all together into one place was a big job, because it's kind of the chicken or the egg. No one's going to come look at your directory unless you have information there, but unless you have information there, people won't want to list their memory cafes. So I would I would reach out to organizations. I would find the information, and then I'd put it in the directory and just start to build that. And that's where we are with support group directory. But now with Memory Cafe directory, it is, in fact, I think you mentioned 1,000. I think I'm over 1,200 listings now, and nearly 200 on the virtual side. And they keep coming in frequently. And what's nice is it's a very involved community, so I get people updating me on certain memory cafes. Certainly through COVID, there was a lot of on pause, deleted and re-added, and a lot of changes. But it's been stabilizing in the last 6 months, and it continues to be a very vibrant environment with people adding information, updating information, and if they don't meet anymore, we remove it. So it's just a wonderful centralized tool for people finding that kind of resource. And there's a ton of articles that are on there as well, that both myself and some of the guest contributors that just add their perspectives, trying to even provide more information for people in that area.
Yep. Well, and that is so important, that ease of access. People, are saying people don't know what they don't know. And when you have that ease of access in that friendly environment where you're not being hounded, you can just go in and see. And if I'm not mistaken, you have some Spanish-speaking groups as well. Do you have other languages too, or is it primarily English and Spanish on the Memory Cafe?
English, Spanish, and some Portuguese.
Okay.
Yeah, and and the ease of use, I appreciate that comment because that's on purpose. Kind of like we put together on Dementia Map, and certainly in these areas, I want to serve up that information and then get myself out of the way. And the easiest way for people to do that, of course, is to see what they need, identify that is what they need, and either call the number on the screen or click through and send an email or visit their website. I'm out of the way at that point, and I just want to make it as simple as possible for people to find what they need and then get there and sign up or ask questions or whatever it is they need.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, let's talk about the evolution of the support group directory. How is that different, and how did you come to see this need as well?
Well, it's very similar to the Memory Cafe directory concept. It's I guess you could say it's a bit of an expanded view because with Memory Cafe directory, it's very, very focused, very specifically for the person living with dementia and their care provider together to enjoy that event. And of course, the events are all different. But it occurred to me that the same void, I'll use that word again, the same void occurs in the support group area. And when I did some searches for that, it really bore that out in that there isn't really a good centralized place to find support groups. And of course, with my world is the dementia world, and that made it was the obvious first place to start and start to build out that. The unfortunate reality is, though, there are many other disciplines in the support group community that to which this could evolve, whether it's dealing with grief, whether it's drug abuse, whether it's whatever it is. There are many support groups, and I have not found a good way to find them unless it's a Google search and you get a bunch of results. You have to figure out where they are and how they work. This could be a very valuable tool for not just the dementia community, but then as this grows, it could be for many other disciplines. Yeah,
I agree. And it is, I mean, you Google and a lot of people don't even realize that the first page is pretty much paid ads. And so it's the big guys squashing out the little guys a lot of times. And just because someone's able to pay for an ad doesn't mean that they're going to best serve you and your needs, or there might be different names, and people don't know, how to find all those things because they just don't know. So that's what I love so much about these directories. Let's talk. You had said that the structure is similar to the Memory Cafe, but let's talk in that a little bit deeper, because some people may not have visited the Memory Cafe directory itself yet.
Well, and that is has been quite an evolution. It started with just simply a U.S. map with all the states on the homepage, and you click your state, and you went to your state page, and they were all listed alphabetically by city. Well, as the UK was added, as Canada was added, as Australia was added, and Brazil, which are the five. Armenia is actually a sixth one, just was added. There's one in Armenia, so I have that section carved out, and more coming, by the way. It had to evolve, and what I tried to do, though, was provide as easy navigation as possible, whether people like to, hit a drop-down menu or, just click the menu at the top, basically, to find a Memory Cafe. It now just goes to a page of countries, choose your country, and then you choose your state, if you're in the U.S., and find your city. So one extra step, but that's just to accommodate multiple countries, where before it was just one country. and very, very simple to navigate that way. So I just want to make it very direct for people to find what they want. And the menu at the top just says, find a memory cafe. And that'll take you to a page of countries. And of course, from there, you can just simply choose your country and go.
Mm-hmm. Now, you had mentioned that there's in-person and there's virtual. How do they find the difference in those, or are they all listed in one?
Good question. The Find a Memory Cafe page that you can access from the top menu bar on any page, it has all of the countries that are currently listed, plus a link to what I call the Cafe Connect calendar. And that's a calendar of the online virtual memory cafes. And of course, there's really no state, city, country kind of thing when you're online, which is a huge benefit. And that takes the visitor to a calendar, and you just choose the time slot that works for you, contact that organization, and get set up to attend virtually if that's important to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, wonderful. Well, I just think that this is exciting now that you have the support group directory. And now your primary focus right now is going to be dementia. Is that correct?
Right. Since that's the primary world in which certainly you and I are living in, that's the logical first place for me to start. And I'm really energized over how quickly this is starting to go, because when I started Memory Cafe Directory, I didn't really have an audience per se. I was starting really from scratch. Now with Support Group Directory, I've promoted this on my email newsletter. It's on the Memory Cafe Directory site in various places. Being able to obviously promote this through you now, there's already people coming to me to list their support groups, and that took me a long time with Memory Cafe Directory to kind of build that momentum. And I'm really happy to see that now people are already finding it and listing their support groups. I have a long way to go, but it's a great start, and it's just so easy. Dementia Support Group, click on the home page, and you go right to a map. And I'm starting with the U.S. Right now. Multiple countries later, and multiple types of support groups later. But the world is my oyster, as it were.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this: if let's say I'm in Australia and I've got a support group that I would like listed, can I apply, and would you add Australia so that maybe I can help build that out with you and spread the word, or are you just going to hold to the U.S. and then roll out and invite people in as it goes?
Right. What I'd like to do is something similar to Memory Cafe Directory, is that in seeing from where visitors originate, I saw that, aside from the U.S., the second most common visitor lived in the UK. So the UK was the next area, and then after that was Canada, and after that was Australia. So it was based on the people finding the site, and so that told me there were a lot of people searching for that. Now that is something I can do again here, but if an organization has a large number of support groups, or they're part of a network that has information about a large number, I'm certainly willing to add a country where it makes sense. It will take a lot of work to add that country with all the maps and the links and everything. So I prefer not to do it for just one support group, initially. But if there's a bit of a groundswell and a decent number of listings, I would be more than happy to respond to requests and start going in a different direction. Not a problem at all. And then, of course, that qualifies. The same thing qualifies for other support group disciplines too. Same with that. So it just depends on where the need is most, and then that for me would be an efficient way to respond to it.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. And there are a lot of organizations that have multiple types of groups. They can be there can be so many, from groups that talk to groups that, walk and have events. And, support comes in all kinds of shapes and sizes and fashions. And,
no kidding.
And things. And so I think sometimes as professionals, we kind of just get stuck in a rut, and we forget how we reach people and why we reach people doing things in different modes.
Exactly. Yeah, and so initially it'll be U.S.-based dementia support groups, and I am excited to hear feedback from the community on where I should go next, because that's that would be the best way to approach it.
Okay. So do you see this platform expanding into other areas? I mean, I know you had mentioned you're starting with dementia, but I mean, you could go into heart disease and diabetes and cancer and all different types of things. Do you see that opening up as a flow for support groups?
Absolutely. Over time, I see it evolving. As I said, as the feedback and the community requests it, but the same kind of lack of centralized information exists in all of those areas you mentioned and more. As I started going, as I say, down the rabbit hole looking for this information, yes, there's organizations that have information out there, but it's just not comprehensive. And so that's why I thought, with the success I've had with Memory Cafe Directory, there is an opportunity to create a comprehensive, centralized source of information, and that's going to be true for all types of support groups. Just a matter of time.
Yep. Well, wonderful. Well, was there anything that we didn't cover that you think our audience should know, Dave?
Boy, I'll tell you, just connecting this with Dementia Map, and of course the Dementia Support Group or Support Group Directory will be part of Dementia Map soon, so people can find that resource through Dementia Map. But I think just laying out, our relationship through Dementia Map, how Memory Cafe Directory started, Dementia Support Groups is a natural evolution from that. I think it's pretty well covered. I'd encourage people to visit supportgroupdirectory.com. Nothing fancy about that name, just like memorycafedirectory.com. And, just browse around, and we've got a number of states already with records in it and in them. You can list your support group. There's a link right at the top of the page to list yours and fill out the form, and I'll get that published as soon as possible. I would love to have people check it out.
Well, and I have to say that was really easy, because I put in our Shoreview Caregiver Connect program where, our caregivers meet together, but then there's respite care for their loved ones. And so, again, it's very different from a memory cafe in and of itself, or, there's so many different types you can have, but filling that out was really, really simple. I mean, really, really simple.
That was the intention. And what I like about being able to do this in this kind of format, where, of course, I'm looking now at the dementia category. It's the Minnesota page, and I, of course, see your Shoreview city entry, and then the name of it, where it is, how often you meet. And what I like is to publish the descriptions that people submit. Yours starts with, "You're not alone. We connect you with others on the same journey." And that providing an opportunity for the support group to really share their message and where to get information, who it's for, what you do, all of those kinds of things is so important for people to read this and say, "Oh my gosh, this is exactly what I need," or "No, not exactly what I need." But having that description allows people to really feel like, okay, this is something I need to look into, and your contact information is right there, and it makes it very easy.
Exactly. Let's go over the websites again. So we've got supportgroupdirectory.com, and then you have memorycafedirectory.com, and then Dementia Map. media.com. So everything, just think of the name you want and add a .com, and you're there.
Well,
and then
even the domain names are as easy as we can possibly make them, and that's part of the mission that we're on.
Exactly. And if they want to reach out to you, they can email you at dave@jadcommedia.com. So that's JADCOM and then media.com.
Right.
So,
that's my overall business account. There is a contact button on both Support Group Directory and Memory Cafe Directory and Dementia Map, as far as that's concerned. And you can just fill out a form and submit your comment or your question, certainly through the contact page too.
Well, and I like that people can, submit their own information as well. I think it's just kind of a natural process and keeps it easy. And with the Memory Cafe, I know if I've ever had an adjustment with mine, I just shoot you an email and poof, you change it. And with Dementia Map, you actually have access to your account to go in and make any changes that you like. So again, a couple of different systems there, but all are very easy to do. And so with the Support Group Directory, again, if there would be a change, they would just email you with that information, and then you would make that adjustment, correct?
Right.
Okay.
On Memory Cafe Directory, there is actually a separate form, and I think I'll do the same thing for Support Group Directory, where it's a form specifically for changes, so you can identify the current listing that's there and what's there and what needs to change. And that seems to be a very easy process, where before all I had was a form to add new, and it wasn't as intuitive. So I think I'll do something like that on Support Group Directory as well, just make it as simple as possible to interact with it.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, because that really is very, very slick. Well, Dave, I appreciate your time today, and I'm excited for this new venture, that you have for Support Group Directory. I think it will, once again, fill a big gap in the industry and make those diagnosed and as well as families and professionals' lives much easier. So thanks for all you are doing in the dementia arena, and thinking from that high level how this can really sprawl out into so many other areas as well. Well,
thank you. It's certainly a pleasure working with you on Dementia Map as well. So we'll keep marching ahead.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Thanks again so much. And, if you're listening, please click, and share. We all need more support, and we all need to know how the heck to find it. So help us spread the word. It's easy to do, takes you a couple of seconds, and doesn't cost you a nickel. Bye for now. We'll talk to you next week.
Hi, everyone. This is Meredith from the Senior Fitness with Meredith podcast, where I discuss all things for seniors, from fitness, your health and wellness journeys, how to be all over strong and beyond. I also have my mini podcast called Motivation with Meredith. It's a great, quick motivational pick-me-up for your days. Join me, listen now, search for Senior Fitness with Meredith on your favorite podcast platform.